Good morning, Cityside. Thank you, Greg Woods, for bringing us into service. Welcome, everyone. Happy Sunday. I just have to give a shout out to my Columbia College graduating seniors that are happening today. I am so proud of you. It has been an intense few years for you to get through school with all of the pandemic Zooming, but you did it. And for anyone graduating out there, kudos, congratulations. I'm very excited for you all as well. So, we've got the music in us. The sun is shining. The weather is sweet. It makes me want to move my dancing feet. So if you want to stand up, I would love that. Ain't got no trouble in my life, no foolish dreams to make me cry. I'm never frightened or worried. You know I always get by. Why? I heat up, I cool down. When something gets in my way, I go round it. Don't let life get me down. Gonna take it the way that I found it. Come on, everybody sing. What? I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. That's right. Hey, I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Ooh. Hey, they say that life is a circle, but that ain't the way that I found it. Why? I'm gonna move in a straight line. That's right. Keeping my feet firmly on the ground. I'm gonna heat up, I cool down. When something gets in my way, I go round it. Don't let life get me down. I'm gonna take it the way that I found it. Sing with me. I got the music in me. Do you? I got the music. Don't believe you? Come on. I got the music in me. 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 Let's break it down, Greg. What? Huh? I feel funky. I feel good. Gonna tell you I'm in Cityside's neighborhood. Gonna fly like a bird on the wing. Hold on to your hat, honey. Sing, 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 sing. I heat up, I cool down. When something gets in my way, I go round it. Don't let life get me down. I'm gonna take it the way that I found it. Hey, I got the music in me. 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 One more time. Oh, I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Hey, yeah. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Oh, 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 yeah. We got the music in us. It's one of my theme songs. I got the music in me. All right, all right, all right. So I would love you to just take a moment centering yourself, giving yourself some energy and breath there. Now we're going to ground ourselves. Breathe a little deeper. Quiet our spirit, our mind, thoughts. Bringing in this beautiful sunshine that our spirit has needed over the long winter. Summer has arrived. The sunshine is upon us, warming our soul, our cheeks, our skin, sweating. Yes, feels good. Bringing in that light into your heart center. my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I am not mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. He is all light. I am 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 light. I am
Yeah, let's give him a lot of love here. This is wonderful. It's very beautiful. Good morning. Welcome to summer. We skipped spring a little bit. I love it. Hello from Cityside to all those who are online, and welcome to all who have come in the room. Recently, I was traveling on the East Coast this last weekend, and I have to say I was so thrilled to be able to go online and join you all at 11:30 out there. I had to figure that out, but it was really fun to see the service, and it meant a lot to me. And then I love coming here because the fellowship of like-minded people, you can't beat it. It's wonderful. So if you will follow along in our Sunday bulletin, scan the QR code. It's in the chairs here, and it's online. So you can follow along in the bulletin. It has all the information, the words and the prayers and who's talking, that kind of thing, which I didn't say again who I am. I'm Connie Hodek, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners, and I don't know why, but I always seem to skip that part. Here I am. I'm just here. We invite everyone to spread the word of Cityside. Please, share your live stream link and share us on all of the media and on Facebook. Let everybody know you're here. It's really important to share that you are here, and all those who love you will see this. At Cityside, we embrace new thought and wisdom teachings, all teachers, all paths. We are affiliated with the Center of Spiritual Living, and we do honor all paths and support you in your own personal path, your own spiritual journey. That is very important to us. Now today, Krista Bremberg is holding vigil. Now that's a meditative state, holding the space for us to have a transformative experience, a change experience. And our main theme is things are always changing. Are you? Yep. We, in Wise Soul Circle yesterday, we got to talking about change. And it came up that taxes are always around, but changing. And death. And I went, well, that's the biggest change. Transitioning from this life to the next, that's a wonderful change. And then change. Just like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. Take a breath. That stoplight will change. And I'm grateful for that all things change. Just take a breath and change. That is one of the certain things. And I think of it as the creative force in action. Everything is changing because everything is being created. Always and ever, and it's always moving forward. Whether we think it is or not, and that's just how I'm kind of looking at it. And today, Reverend Darrell will give his talk about what meaning do you give to change. So think about that for a minute. And I'm going to pose a question for our meet and greet here. What would you like to change today? Just one small thing. What would you change today? Now, I would change the state of my kitchen. I'm going to have to go home and do dishes. But it is a change, and when I'm done, it's always kind of pleasing with the simplest things. It can make a difference. So get up, move around, find somebody you don't know or somebody you do know, and ask them, what would you like to change today?
Right, and then
You're going to purge. That's a good thing, change. Same. Yeah, we have the color. Okay, I'm going to use my teacher voice. Find your seats, everybody. Let's begin. I haven't used that in a while. That was my mainstay for about 20 years. Yeah. Okay, I would like to share with everyone that if you really want to get in on the color coding call for the week, I can't tell you how many times at Cityside that's happened. It's really cool. Yep, purple is the P for the T. Okay, vision and mission. We'll get back to being serious here. Take a deep breath and say along with me. We envision a diverse and empowered community that is practicing unconditional love in action. Our mission is to create safe and inclusive spaces to explore and deepen our faith, grow in spiritual consciousness, and express our authentic nature. I'll call up Reverend Amy.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to take a second and make a request. We are in the process of considering what we're doing with space, as we have been for a while. And Jeffrey is not up from manning the door downstairs, but Jeffrey and Ted wave at everybody, have been out looking around. And the reason we're thinking about different space is we really want to make a commitment to youth and family. And this space doesn't really lend itself to that. And it's possible that we could figure out another place in the building to have the kids or across the street or something like that. But the reason I want to mention and presence this is if you do have ideas, if you know of spaces that you think could work for us, we would really appreciate it if you would let Jeffrey and Ted know. They're running with the ball. I'm helping, but they're the geniuses looking into it. And Jason asked me, why do we need to move? And I said, that's a great question, because this space is a great space. The thing I like about it is that they are also a not-for-profit. Fulton Street Collective is also a not-for-profit, and they're committed to future generations of artists. That's their mission. And which seems aligned to me. That's, we're committed to future generations of people knowing this teaching because we know it makes a difference. And the other thing that they share our values. They're inclusive, they're diverse, they're progressive, and so we do love this space. It's nothing against the space. If we could figure out another space to have the kids in, we'd probably stay for a while till we outgrow it. But we really, I just want to invite everyone, if you have ideas, please let us know. And then also, just to hold it in consciousness, when you're praying, if you could just hold in consciousness the right and perfect space for Cityside and the right and perfect resources, because we also have a great deal here. So I just wanted to share that. And so if you have any questions or ideas, see Jeffrey or Ted after service. Thank you.
Hello, Cityside. My name is Rob Wozniak. I'm one of your licensed spiritual practitioners. This morning I have a reading to share with you. Followed by that, I'm going to lead you through a brief meditation and conclude with a benediction over today's service. So today I have a reading from Neil Donald Walsh from his book, When Everything Changes, Change Everything. In a Time of Turmoil, A Path to Peace. So that was a mouthful. So here we go. I'm watching some pretty weird stuff going on in our world. The same stuff you're watching, and I see everything changing all over the place so fast we can hardly keep track of it. I'm here because I know that unless we find a way to deal with this changing pace of change, both collectively and individually, we're not going to be in a very good place. So I'm here to change the way we experience change forever. I'm here to see if I can engage us all in changing change. So now I invite you into our time of stillness. And just breathing at a comfortable pace, getting comfortable in our chairs, centering, following the in and out motion of the breath. Noticing the mind and its chatter, coming back to the motion of the breath if we find our mind wandering. So you can start bringing your attention back into this room. As I speak a benediction over today's service, I'm just knowing and recognizing this one life, this everlasting life that is truth, that is wholeness, that is freedom, that is abundance. And as I know this is true about life, this is true about Source, I know that it's true about me, that this power and presence lives within me. And as I know that it's true for me, I know that it's true for everyone in this service today, in this room and watching online. That we are one with all that the divine is. One with this wholeness, this freedom, this abundance, this love, this truth. And so from this place of oneness, I speak a blessing over this service today. I bless all the hearts and hands that have come together to create this space for our celebration service today. I bless the tech team, knowing that absolutely everything is broadcast smoothly. I bless the music team as they so generously share their gifts that inspire us, so allow us to reach new heights. I bless all those who participate and serve at Cityside Spiritual Community, knowing that this practice, this creation of a vortex, makes a difference in our community in Chicagoland and beyond. I bless the leadership of Cityside Spiritual Community, knowing they are executing on a high vision for the expansion of this teaching. And I speak a special word of blessing on our speaker today, Reverend Darrell Jones, knowing that he has made himself available to channel the wisdom of Spirit, to bring a message on purpose that makes a difference, that is absolutely, that this community is open and available to receive. It's calling this all good and affirming, and so it is.
All right, so for the feature today, this was a request by Reverend Darrell Jones. And there are really, in my mind, two people. I'm going to sing this for you today, but the people who sang it, of course, is the composer Sam Cooke. And one of my favorite versions is sung by Aaron Neville. And if you don't know who Aaron Neville is, he is a rare voice. And he is from a group called the Neville Brothers. And I had the opportunity to meet him in person backstage at B.B. King's in New York. And I remember walking up to him and I was like, "Hi." And what is so beautiful about this man is he is the most gentle giant. You could swing off of his bicep. It is that large. And it's no joke. It's like, and then he has this falsetto, gorgeous, countertenor, bird-like voice that is like none other. And it's one of those things of, oh, how the eye tricks in identity. So as you see him walk down the street, you would have no idea that that voice comes out of that gentle giant. And it's a great mind perception thing for us to all learn from. So your homework is to check out his version later today, please. This is a change that's going to come. I was born by a river in a little tent, yeah. And just like that, a river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, oh, and I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother, and I say, brother, help me, please. But he winds up knocking me. He winds up knocking me back down to my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, no. But now I think I'm able. I'm gonna carry on. It's been a long time coming, and I know, change is gonna come. Greg, let's take it back to the bridge, please. Oh, yes, it will. Hey, now, said then I go to my brother, yes. I said, brother, sister, friend, won't you help me, please? Oh, but then he winds up knocking me back down to my knees. There have been times that I thought I wouldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able. I'm gonna carry on. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I said, it's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
Another hand for Tiffany, singing that song for our musicians, bringing a vibe, bringing a tone. So that song was written in 1963, came out in 1964, and it was written by a black man looking for change to come. He was seeking an experience of life to be different. I did not know this morning that I would wake up to hear that black people had been shot in Buffalo. It's been a long time coming, and it hasn't quite changed yet. The talk that I have written for today is not thrown out the window, but when everything changes, everything must change. I was welcomed this week by one of our own members, John Adams, to the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee of the larger organization that Cityside is a part of, the Centers for Spiritual Living. And one of the things that I am so 100% convicted in is that there is no amount of shame, finger pointing, wrongdoing that is ever going to heal anything. Change is going to come, whether you like it or not. Whether it is seeking that finality, that what Sam Cooke was writing about, that change is going to come when he can wake up one day and feel a little bit more safe and secure. But then there's some days we wake up and it's a change that we're not intending, right? It's a change that we didn't even know we were looking for, that was even possible. Change just gonna come. So the thing is what meaning do you give to change? That's my talk title today. Change your thinking, change your life. For those of us who have been studying Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, New Thought, New Age, New World, New Thinking traditions, this is a cornerstone. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. The other month when we were focusing on suffering, I thought this was an interesting little tidbit. Misinterpretation is the cause of suffering. So when change happens, we suffer. But is it the change itself, or is it our misinterpretation of that change that causes the suffering? Change, change, change. It's the nature of life. But what do you make it mean? Change is never going to stop. You changed clothes today, right? From what you wore yesterday, I hope, maybe? At least some different socks? A couple of quotes from this amazing book, and I always am so grateful. So there's such a divine appointment to what happens around the planet, and Reverend Amy, I'm always so grateful for the decision of what you bring forward as a thought topic for the month, because it just always, for me at least, it hits right home. And I enjoyed the talks of Reverend Charles last week and of Reverend Jackie, and I want to continue. This is not a final conversation on change. I'm not trying to put a period at the end of something, but just to further this conversation that Neil Donald Walsh brings forward in the book. When everything changes, change everything. In a time of turmoil, a path to peace. I like the last part of it more than the front. I get excited when someone says, here's a path to peace in the midst of turmoil. And the thing is, he wrote this in 2009. And the truth in this book is applicable anytime. And then there's part of me that goes, well, what was happening in 2009 that he wrote about? Like, there had to be a reason. It's like, no, change was happening. Change is going to come. And there's a path to peace in the midst of that change. One of his quotes is, your story does not live in your soul, only in your mind. Your story only lives in your mind. We'll come back to that. He goes on to say that perspective is the most powerful element in the process of reality creation. Perspective, vantage point, how you see the change that's going to come. Everything is constantly changing, and we handle it. I want to start off with a little bit of affirmation here. Do you realize all the change that you handle every single day? They may seem like little things, but it's important to realize just how much change you handle. You open the fridge, and the leftovers that you were planning for lunch, either someone else has eaten them, maybe they got thrown out, maybe you open it up, it smells a little funky, and you're like, What do? You change everything. Everything. And you plan something else. In that moment, everything changes because that change came. Anyone use Waze or Google Maps or some other mapping device to get somewhere, even when you know how to get there? Sometimes I'm like, what? Right? But how often do you do that and you turn on the device and you know in your mind you've already mapped it out where you're going, but then you look down and all of a sudden the route changes. And you're like, wait, what? But what do? You change everything in that moment and you find a new path. Does it mean you don't get to your destination? No. You simply find a new path. You get a call from a client, maybe a coworker, a family member, and that meeting, that appointment that you had is all of a sudden rescheduled or changed. It might be annoying, you might be upset, but what do? You go to your calendar, you wipe it off, and you either realize, wow, I've got another hour that I can spend doing what I really want to do other than talking to them about that, or you reschedule it to another time. But in that moment, everything changes. This is what you do every day, people. You realize how much change you are managing? How excellent you are at handling the change that's gonna come? You have a conversation with your spouse, with your partner, and they haven't been feeling that connected. And they say to you, I'm considering ending our relationship. What do? You probably freak out a little bit, but you change everything in that moment. The importance of whatever you were doing is gone. And you lean into that change. And ideally, hopefully, you talk about what's going on. You may even go get some therapy together, or you may choose to end things. Your boss or employer, or if you're a contractor, someone who hired you calls you into their office and says, I'm sorry, you know what, today's going to be the last day. We've got to let you go because of budget cuts. What do? You may ask for some clarification, but ultimately, you go get your things and you go look for a new job. You find a new opportunity. All of these things that I've shared, that I've listed, that I've used as illustrations, they've all happened to me at some point in my life, and I'm sure on some level they've happened to all of you. Some of them, like changing directions with Waze or whatever it may be, may seem small, they may seem insignificant, but it's not. And here's why. Because in this work that we do, in this spiritual new thought, it's all about principle. The principle is that you have the capacity within you to handle any and all change that comes your way. Whether it is someone telling you they want to end a relationship or you're trying to figure out what to do next for lunch, change is gonna come. And the divine spirit within you has the capacity to do so. In the moment when you have to pivot, everything changes. what do you make it mean? This is where things get a little interesting. The talk title is, What Meaning Do You Give to Change? It doesn't say, what does change mean? What meaning do you give to change? Because that's probably one of the most important and powerful questions that you can ask yourself in any given moment as your life progresses to get present to what's going on. We make change mean something, even though it's always going. Why is it that some change is considered bad and some change is considered good? Why? Now, I'm not talking about liking change. You may not like all the change that happens in your life. God knows I'm experiencing all kinds of change in my life. I haven't lived in my home for almost 7 weeks because of a leaky roof and mold and all that good stuff. That was a change coming that I did not see. And I had all kinds of stories going back to the story doesn't live in my soul. It's in my mind. I made up all kinds of stuff. But it's just change. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but I'm trying to get us down to the power of our consciousness, the power of our thinking, the power of our relationship to life. And the fact that change happens doesn't really necessarily mean anything. It's what you make of it. Is anyone else out there like me? Maybe you can affirm this online as well. Is anyone out a creature of habit? Does anyone like like comfort? Right? Oh, okay. We are constantly attempting to make life easier. We're constantly attempting to be more streamlined and more comfortable in our living. In fact, there's this booming industry around that called artificial intelligence. Anyone ever heard of that? Let me read the definition of artificial intelligence. The theory and the development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. So this artificial intelligence, whether it is a coffee pot that automatically kicks on and gets your coffee going 30 minutes before you get up so you can conveniently just go and stumble out and slurp it down without having to put any effort forward in the morning. Or maybe you've got a spreadsheet of a bunch of data and events and things that are going on, and you hit a button and zoop, all of a sudden it populates your calendar and sends out emails and invites to everyone. Isn't that amazing? These developments are great, and I take a part in them. And there is an innate human intelligence that I want to remind you of today. Don't forget it. It is the wise intelligence of life, of the universe, of spirit, or the God within you. It can't be created artificially. It is inherent in all organic life. From your thinking capacity down to the very cells of your being. Everything knows inherently how to handle the change that is happening. Do you know the change that is happening in your body right now? You don't have to think about most of it. There is this great, it's not artificial, it's this innate intelligence within your body that is helping you assimilate nutrition, that is helping push hydration into areas where it's needed, that is drawing blood into areas that might be a little harmed or injured or whatever it may be. There's this amazing, amazing intelligence that's happening. And I believe this is not a criticism on our modern day, but I think it's something we really need to humble ourselves to. I believe that we are beginning to dampen our inherent capabilities to handle and manage change as a human race because of our dependency on the external world. The world is important. We need it. We need all the relationships that we have. We need all the money that we have. We need the roof over our head. We need the new shoes to walk down the street. But that we don't think so critically anymore. We just take the information that's given to us over social media, over a TV program or some entertainment thing. And it's even to the point where we're being told what to think and how to feel about something, right? This is not good. And it's usually based on this duality. It's either good or it's bad. It's right or it's wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. I love social media. I was just on hyping up this talk and this service today. I watch TV. I go down the binge Netflix every once in a while with my wife. So I'm not trying to say that's inherently the evil or the thing that's not good. But recognize that there is a numbing and a dampening of the inherent intelligence within you as we start to lean too much into the external. To draw your attention back into that innate intelligence within you is what allows you to handle the inherent change that is going to come. Not a piece of data outside of you. Well, is this good or bad? That's the story. You have within you, regardless of your opinion of it's good or bad, you have within you the capacity to handle that change. Does everyone feel that? You have within you the capacity to handle the nature of change. And I love to lean into the Taoist philosophies, Lao Tzu, looking out in nature. Nature is amazing. Nature is dope. Nature is fresh, especially right now in Chicago with spring coming about. It is constantly changing. It's compensating. But it doesn't assign anything to it. A fire sweeps through a forest. Destruction, burning down all sorts of acres. Maybe even some homes get burnt in the way. Nature doesn't go sit in a corner and start wringing its hands and go, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Am I no good? Nature doesn't go, oh my gosh, maybe I wasn't really supposed to blossom that flower over there. I'm getting too big for my britches. That change happens, and what does nature do? It starts seeding. It starts healing, and it's growing the next forest the next day. Now, it's not to minimize the hardships that we go through with change. It's not to minimize that it isn't always easy to move through it. But the two chapters that I specifically was focusing on, chapters 5 and 6 from this book, the titles of them within themselves, I encourage you to read this book, but just the titles of the chapters themselves will give you some get up and go, I hope. Chapter 5 is change your idea about change itself. So what meaning do you assign to the change in your life? It's less about what is it, but can you just change the idea about change itself? And then chapter 6, he goes on to say, change your idea about why changes occur. So I want to come back to the reading, and it may have been a little bit weird. I appreciate Rob. I took this excerpt and changed a couple of the pronouns, but this was from the book. It says, I'm watching some pretty weird stuff going on in our world, the same stuff you're watching. And I see everything changing all over the place so fast that we can hardly keep track of it. I'm here because I know that unless we find a way to deal with this change and the changing pace of change, both collectively and individually, we're not going to be in a very good place. So I'm here to change the way we experience change forever. I'm here to see if I can engage us all in changing change. So this is Neil Donald Walsh talking about why he wrote this book. flip this for a moment. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, this is the voice of love speaking to you right now. Love is saying, I'm watching some pretty weird stuff. The same stuff you're watching. And I see everything changing all over the place. It's so fast that we can hardly keep track of it. I'm here because I know that unless we all find a way to deal with the changing pace of change, both collectively and individually, we're not going to be in a very good place. So I'm here. Love is here to change the way we experience change forever. I'm here to see if I can engage us all in changing change. Imagine if that was the mindset that the collective world embraced as it wakes up every morning to the inherent change that goes on. Driving in this morning, I was listening to the radio, and they were speaking to a minister about the shootings in New York, and asked him, what do you have to say about that? Wanting him to stand and take a position. And he said, I can't speak to you other than a person who's hurting in the community right now. Take away my pastor, my minister title. This is hard. And there's people in my community hurting. I'm hurting. That is an acknowledgement of love, right? Love is not always about, white doves of peace flying over, cute little babies, blowing bubbles and stuff like that. I love all that love, but love is so complex. And it requires a lot of us. Love is so complex that it can't be contained in one word. When we speak of love, there are so many other frequencies and vibrations that operate beneath it, below it, around it, and through it, like compassion, kindness, inclusion, acceptance, empathy, sympathy, justice, hope, forgiveness, discipline, and so much more. Think about love in your life right now, whether it's romantic, whether it's love of family, whether it's love of industry in your employ, whether it's love of self. All of those things have to happen if you want to stay engaged with love, yes? At some point in time, if you want to be in love with life, you're going to have to forgive life. If you want to be in love with yourself, you're going to have to forgive yourself. If you're definitely going to be in love with someone else, you're going to have to forgive them. Can I get a amen? All right. Compassion. If you want to be in love, you have to embrace compassion, kindness, joy, hope. What meaning do you give to change? Because the change is going to come. It isn't a sign that life is out to get you when change happens, which is one of the common things that a lot of people go, oh my gosh, why can't things just be the same? Life just doesn't want me to be happy. When change happens, it isn't telling you that there isn't enough. That's not the purpose of change, to reinforce this idea that there is not enough. When change happens, it is not an indicator that you're going to be alone forever. When change happens, it is not about you not pursuing the hopes and dreams of your life. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve all that you want and desire. Change is simply what is happening all the time. It's why so many philosophers wrote about it for not only hundreds, but thousands of years. You can never step in the same river twice. One of my favorite quotes from ministerial school. Change is constantly happening. So what meaning do you give to it? Or better yet, what if you didn't have to give change any meaning? It's a radical notion. Whether big or small, seemingly significant or minuscule, what if we embraced change as an opportunity to better understand the complexity of love's purpose, to engage us all in changing our relationship to change? The game of life is, capital I, capital S, change. So what if you picked up your deck of love cards? I just played some cards the other night, so I'm thinking about that. And whenever change comes into your life, big or small, you may not like it, and that's okay. You can have your opinion. But to bring one of those cards out and play it intentionally. The cards from your love deck. Sometimes you're going to need to play the compassion card. Sometimes you're going to need to play the forgiveness card. Sometimes you're going to need to play the kindness card. Love is too complex, remember, to just have one tone. It's got all this stuff going on in it. But it needs you to play it in relationship to change. Love is here to change the way that we can experience life. And the nature of life is to change. So your homework, your challenge this week, your charge this week, it's simple, seemingly, but it's very, very powerful. Ask love to help you experience the change that's happening in your life right now. And you know what I'm talking about. I don't, but I know that there's change happening in your life right now. Ask love to let you experience this change in a new way. Whether it's something happening in your body, whether it's something happening in a relationship, whether it's something happening in your career, whether it's finding a new building for this community. So quickly, we are creatures of habit, and we want things to stay the same so we can understand it, and we will fight. We will fight people. We will kill people. We're doing it right now all over the planet to try to not change the inevitable change of life. What if we could just love the fact that change is happening and ask love to awaken something within us so that we can step into this change and allow it to grow, to inspire, to expand, to deepen? There's one last quote from the book that I want to start closing us with a little bit here. Neil Donald Walsh wrote that fear is an emotion that you have that is sponsored by a thought that you have. We could just stop there, but let's start there. Fear is an emotion that is sponsored by a thought. Think of that word, sponsoring someone. So your thought sponsors this emotion of fear. And most of the time that we experience fear is when something is no longer in our habit. Change. What the heck? What's going on? And we go into fight or flight. We're animals, right? And we have this thought, it's like, oh my gosh, change is happening. This means that I just better just go back and sit down inside my house and not interact with anyone because the world is dangerous. I am blown away at the fear that I hear people speak of all the time. There are people that are afraid to come into the city of Chicago because they watch the news too much. Don't get me wrong. There's neighborhoods where you need to be smarter than others. You need to be a little bit more aware. But to say, oh, no, I don't go into the city because I'm going to own my judgment on that. It makes me angry. It makes me sad because there's so much richness in life that people are not willing to step into because they're making a meaning of the thing that they see, that the change, the knowing is not there. It's mixed up. Something new is happening. People are upset. People are stealing. People are doing this. But what do you make it mean? Do you make it mean that life is this unsafe place that you can never go out and interact and do the things and take risks? Or do you go, oh, change is coming. Change is going to come. Here's an opportunity for me to call and play upon one of my love cards. Ask love to help you. Ask love to help you this week. One of my favorite things to do on the planet is to officiate weddings. Because it's a day that all the people there, even the people that are kind of like stoic, they get a little soft A tear may come down their face because they allow themselves to connect to love. But in that huge energy and vibration of that day, the couple, I always say to them, now listen up. You've quote unquote made it to this day, but then there's tomorrow. And guess what? A change is going to come. They're going to do something that pisses you off, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, this means we're not supposed to be together. Totally disrespecting every want and desire that I have in my life because they didn't put the cap back on the toothpaste the right way. Right? We go there. And I don't mean to be frivolous, but the advice that I lift out of A Course in Miracles is this question of what is love calling me to be? All we have to do is call upon love, ask love, and that way will be shown. The peace in the midst of turmoil that Neil Donald Walsh speaks of is available, but love is the path to that peace. But we must be humble and listen. So, Greg, I'm going to ask you to bring back the opening chords to I Am Light. And remember that you are light. But to use this word love, I am love. India Arie sings, I am light, I am light. I want you to sing, I am love, over and over again. Let this be a mantra for you today. Let it be a mantra for you this week. I am love. Not to get to some understanding, not to make anything change out in the world, but to activate that inherent, innate intelligence within you, the love intelligence itself that can allow you to be with any change that comes your way. Breathe in, I am love. Breathe out, I am love. If it feels good to you, close your eyes for a minute and embrace that love intelligence within you. There is one power and presence. And today, let us all just agree upon one of the many words that describes it, and that is love. Love is all that there is. It is my life and it is your life now. And all we need to do is ask love to guide us, to direct us, to show us the way, to help us navigate the changes that are happening, those that we understand, those that we don't, those that we like, those that we don't like. Love can give us that thing. You are love. Don't let anything in the world let you forget that. But do your work this week and remember that you are love. And do so by asking the love intelligence within you to come forward as wisdom. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for the change that is ever happening. I am so grateful for the change that gives us an opportunity to call upon love to express itself in a way it never has before. Peace and blessings to all of the turmoil in the world, whether it be in Buffalo, whether it be in Ukraine, whether it be down your street, whether it be in your home, whether it be in your heart and mind. It is an opportunity for all of us to embrace the love intelligence that allows light, love, truth, wisdom, honor, passion, creativity, sustainability to have its way. And so we let love continue to do its work in the rest of this service and in the rest of this week. All we have to do is ask. And so we ask for love to do what it does best, and that is to love all of us here and now. With a grateful heart for the fulfillment of love today, I release this word. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Darrell Jones.
Yes, thank you very much, Reverend Jones. Hold that in my heart. I am love. Now is our time of offering. Cityside is a community supported organization operation. And each week we practice conscious giving, which allows us to make this service and other offerings like classes, workshops, and hopefully the children's program very soon. And so there are several ways to give. The easiest way is to give to Cityside. You can find by scanning the QR code at your seat or on the screen, and go online. You can find it as well. Otherwise, you can text to give by texting the word give, Give, to 312 757 8111. You could give in person here. We do have a donation box right over here to my left. Please put it in an envelope and write your name on it so that we can acknowledge your tax-deductible gift. All right, so take a deep breath while you're doing this. We are so grateful. So please join me in the giving affirmation as we bless our gifts. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me.
And we want to thank you so very much for your donation and helping us support this organization that is open to the world. It is wonderful. If you are joining us for the first time, we welcome you. Thank you, thank you. It's so nice to see you here. And if you can subscribe to our newsletter by following the link in the bulletin or by visiting our website. And now Rob has a word.
Hi, I'm Rob Wozniak, still one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Cityside Spiritual Community. I want to invite you to a workshop I've put together for next week at 1 o'clock. It's going to be on Zoom after service, and it's transcending addiction and intuiting your next right steps. And really, this is the perfect workshop for anyone who thinks they might have a problem with repetitive behaviors, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's, more OCD type symptoms that are interfering with your best life. We're going to look at the sort of spiritual basis of addiction, how it lives in our minds. And also, we're going to get in touch with what we study here, this intuitive guidance, this divine wisdom, to help us find, or empower you to find your next right steps, and what's the way forward to a life of freedom and fullness. So we're going to have a great time. We also have a special section for people who are, living with or have a family member or a loved one that's in a dangerous addiction, and how do you cope with that? Like we talked about today, the dealing with change. What do we make it mean? So we want to empower you. This is going to be a great workshop. It's going to be a fun workshop, and yeah, everybody will get something out of it, that's for sure. So, you can visit the Cityside website and register there. So, hope to see you. Thanks.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, I'd also like to share with you that on the last Sunday of each month, we have an after talk. It's from 11:45 to 12:45, and it's a very informal gathering to discuss, ask questions, share, and some good fellowship. So we'd love to see everyone there. I want to put out a very special thanks to our Sunday team for making today's service possible. These people show up each and every week, and some join us, and it's wonderful. It's a fun time. It's a good fellowship time. And Dom, thank you for the tech. Nora, Tiffany, and yeah, Nora, Tiffany, and Greg for the music, that beautiful ministry. For Patrick, Jason, Joffrey, Rob, Krista, and Willie for getting this whole room set up and getting us all going. And then thanks to Paige. She works for us each and every week behind the scenes, and it's so wonderful to have someone like that. She just keeps us going and keeps us organized. And then thank you to Reverend Darrell for joining us today. I love him. And then Reverend Linda and Reverend Amy for holding the high watch of Cityside. Now, join us next week as we continue with the May theme, Things Are Always Changing, Are You? With a talk by Reverend Linda Jackson. It will be good, yes. And finally, I would like you to know that you can receive prayer after service from Rob right here. Don't leave with anything on your heart. So join us online if you need to request prayer. Otherwise, have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Connie. You are the hostess with the mostest. If you wake up and don't want to smile, if it takes just a little while, come on, Cityside, open your eyes and look at the day. You'll see things in a different way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. That's right, yesterday's gone. Come on. Hey. Why not think about the times to come and not about the things that you've done? If your life was bad to you, just think what tomorrow will do. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Say yesterday's gone. And all I want is to see you smile, if it takes just a little while. I know you don't believe it's true. I never meant any harm to you. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Mr. Greg Woods on the piano. Thank you so much, Cityside. Nora on the viola. And Rev D, have a beautiful rest of your day. We'll see you next week. Thank you.